pissing people off about speculating that. But you know what? I don't care.
No.
I really don't. Because you know what? People make claims out there all the time.
Right.
And most times they're just full of it.
Absolutely.
You know who I'm talking about.
What's substantial?
Or if you don't know who I'm talking about, they probably can self-identify.
Right.
And if they can, that should tell you something right there.
There you go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today's episode 105 of the brand new Coffee and Comic Show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Bob here with me. Bob, how you doing?
Doing great. Christmas just happened.
Yep.
And getting ready to get into the new year, so let's do this, man.
Yeah, so Christmas was just yesterday.
Yes,
we're filming this on Saturday. So we're actually going to talk about our Christmas and the trip that I went on to Florida at the end of the video. This is the first time we've seen each other since I've been back, to be totally honest. So, we've been avoiding each other. Our smarter halves said it's probably a good idea, and we listened to them. So,
yeah, exactly.
Probably some good advice. But now we're safe and stuff. I'm all, clean or whatever, so it's all good. But you know what? Let's start off with the coffee that we're drinking today. And my coffee is brought to you by Mocha Express, the official coffee shop of Comics with Bueller. I'm having the Missile, which is just shots of coffee.
Sweet.
And there's 7 shots of coffee in here, a little bit of something else. Not alcohol, you don't need. But a little, I don't know what, it's just cream or whatnot. But this is strong. This is meant to give me the buzz that I need to get through today. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip.
Pick me up.
Oh, a nice 24 ounce. What about you? What are you having?
Today I've got some of that microdose coffee by Robbie and a little bit of sugar-free vanilla sweetener in it, and it's tasty.
That's a fake stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fake stuff. I gotta try. You told me I could try it. You didn't bring it over.
I should bring it over.
Next
Sorry
time.
about that.
Next time, right?
Next time.
Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the trip and Christmas and stuff at the end. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right in it because you know what? I think people were missing the coffee video. You know how many people watched our last coffee video, episode 104? Almost 10,000.
Wow.
10,000
Thank
people
you guys.
watched episode 104. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks, so let's see if 105 can top that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to. We're going to give it a shot. Let's go ahead and jump into our first 5, brought to you by Comic Proline. You want to go first?
Sure thing. Just recently, I did a unboxing of some mail that I had, and I got some really good deals off of eBay, so I thought I'd bring some of that stuff. And this is a series that when I was a kid, I loved reading, and it's a supervillain team-up. And here's issue number 1. Some great Dr. Doom and Namor action.
Nice.
Got number 2.
I like that number 1 issue.
I do too. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what's up with number 1, my friend?
No, I'm not going to do it. It's
All right.
between me and you.
All right, number 3. And then I got number 4. And there we go. First 5 issues. That's my first 5. I ended up getting issues 1 through 9, and then number 14 and 16. I think there's only 17 in the run, but there's my first 5.
Not a bad run to have.
Not a bad run.
It's good to see you, by the way.
It's good to see you too.
Just to let you know. So. All right, I got my first 5 right here. And the first one is Fantastic Four, the world's greatest comic magazine. Sam gave this to me.
Nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Merry Christmas, Sam.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And this one, sticking with Fantastic Four, look at this. Alex Ross. This is the 1 in 50 variant. I bought that on my trip in Florida.
Nice.
A couple variants from the Comic-Con, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood number 1.
Very cool.
Thought that was pretty cool. And then the Virgin version. And then I found this book, which is Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights.
What?
Number 1. And I actually had this book on my top 10 list when it came out. I found a bunch of books as I was in Florida that I picked up that I didn't find here. And we're actually going to talk about this book here when we get to today's topic, because today's topic is best comics or comic series or publishers of 2020. And I want to hit on that book because it's very cool. I know you've never seen that book before, right?
I have not.
Exactly what I want to hear.
All right.
Just trust me, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I show it to you.
All right.
All right, so that's my first 5. Let's go ahead and jump right into the topic, man. We're not wasting any time today whatsoever.
Let's do it.
Our topic is brought to you by Blackbox Comics. They have their book coming out this week, The Devil's Dominion, number 1. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be on comic shelves on Wednesday. I've already read it. I really liked it. It's kind of a cross between Spawn, Ghost Rider, Something is Killing the Children, all sorts of stuff like that. We're probably going to get some copies to give away to you guys here in the next couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. But make sure you grab that book, give it a shot, let me know if you like it, and then tell your comic book shop to order issue 2 and 3. I think it's only a 5-issue series.
Right.
But it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
But the topic is, like I said, what were the best books of 2020?
Yeah.
Best series, best publisher, all that good stuff. And we got a ton of comments. We actually had comments from 2 different videos because we didn't do a copy video last week.
Right.
But we only have about a dozen to read. So I'm going to go first, and it's a long one. Did you notice that I picked a long one for me?
You're growing up.
I'm going to have a sip of coffee.
But thank you, my friend.
Yeah, whatever. All right, this first one right here is from Logan Lumpkins, one of our favorite guys that does a lot of really neat stuff for us. He's a doctor now, by the way. You know that,
wow.
Right? Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
He started off watching the video. He was in grade school, and now he's a doctor. He's like Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser.
Something like that. He probably doesn't even know who that is. Logan says, the best series of the year goes, it has to be James Tinian's Something is Killing the Children, swiftly followed by the Department of Truth for Me. The man deserves all my money. And if there was an award for Best Publisher of the Year, I would have to go with Image Comics. When a publisher is consistently putting out quality content such as Crossover, Department of Truth, Gideon Falls, Ice Cream Man, Firepower, Oblivion Song, Undiscovered Country, Big Girls, etc., always giving power to the creator to do whatever they want, desperately tries to innovate their line by letting Robert Kirkman begin his Firepower story with a $9 trade paperback, or by letting him reprint The Walking Dead in color for a couple examples. Consistently supporting local comic shops by giving them thank you variants, and still has Tom McFarlane's Spawn priced at $2.99. It's hard for me to argue against Image Comics being the best publisher of the year. From my humble perspective, Image is the comic book company who lowered their shoulder into the diversity of 2020 and decided to make it their year. I have more faith in Image Comics than I ever have. Todd bless Image, and Todd bless America Excelsior. He's right.
He is.
He's absolute. Image had such a great year. Such a great year. And at the end of this, I have a bunch of books that are just some of my favorites I just wrote down, and I'll share those. Mm-hmm. But when you go and you make a list, and you realize, man, there's a lot of independents on that list, or Image books or whatnot.
Sure.
That just goes to show you that this publisher just took this year by the horns and did awesome. I mean, even with everything that happened, so many great titles, one after another. Even for the 2 or 3 month shutdown, they come back strong.
Absolutely.
And they have their standard titles that have been around. They had a couple titles end, which was unfortunate. Middle West was one of my favorites. That came to an end. Mm-hmm. Oblivion Song has been going for a little while. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. And there's a few others, Farmhand as well. Mm-hmm. And one of their big titles, Saga.
Saga, yeah.
Saga, which is still going to be made.
Right.
But it's, how long did it take off? Like 2 or 3 years?
2 years, something like that, yeah.
That's a huge title for them.
For sure.
And all the new stuff. I mean, I think he's absolutely right. I think Image had the best year by far. And there is I think last year I could say there was a close second, but I think 2020, I think Image by far had the best year.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that really stood out to me was when we went to that signing that was over at I Like Comics earlier in the year. And as we were approaching and got to talk to, their main board, of course, most of them are famous comic artists.
Yes.
But, one of the things that really came off when we were there with them was that they really wanted to thank the fans.
Yeah.
And so it's not just that they're in it for a buck.
Yeah.
They understand that we're in this together. And that really came out during that signing. And when you see the stuff that they brought out this year, some of it is, all brand new stuff, but some of it is definitely stuff that they're doing for the fan.
Yes.
And you gotta love them for that. And so, hands down, I think his comment hits it on the nail. Best publisher for the year for sure for 2020.
Yeah, and like you said, they did a lot of stuff for the fan. I'm glad you brought up that event we went to, because that event was totally free.
Yeah. And
there was 6 of the heads of Image Comics: Robert Kirkman, Tom McFarlane, you name it, they were there.
Yeah.
Not only did they sign everyone's autographs and stay for hours later than they were supposed to, but they also, we gave it away. But remember the print?
Yeah.
The beautiful print that each one of them signed individually as you went through the line, along with your other stuff.
Yeah.
They took the time to do. They didn't have to do that.
Nope.
And then Robert Kirkman gave them a box. Remember they got delayed.
Yeah.
And so he sent a box of The Walking Dead, the final issue, the Rick one on the cover, like the second print.
Right.
And they were all autographed by Kirkman.
Every single one.
Just to make up for the fact that they weren't able to make it for that one day.
Yeah. No extra charge whatsoever.
And they just gave them away.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of copies of those, all autographed by Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
You didn't have to do that.
No.
And they just showed up again 3 weeks later to do the event, and we're just signing left and right.
Right.
And it was an awesome time. So I can't think of any other publisher that would do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were all personable. They were all having fun.
Yeah.
And they really wanted the fans to know how much they appreciated us, which was refreshing. It was so awesome.
Absolutely. I got the next one here. This is from Two Gun Pedro. There you go. He says, hard to pick one comic of the year, but I'd say 2020 was the year of the indies. I collect more indie titles than I ever have. I've said that too.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's working out. I mean, I never intended for that to be the case.
No.
I never intended for me to fade away from Marvel or DC for that matter and be such a fan of the indie titles. The one thing, if indie titles ever decide to really hit the superhero market, which they have a few here and there, but if they ever really do, I might not even look at Marvel at all. To be totally honest. I mean, I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But they have every other base covered. Okay.
For sure.
Except for like the superhero and the namesake of the characters that have been around forever. But you know what? He's exactly right. And this came up time after time again. Indie comics. I loved them this year. It was a great year. And, you know, I don't know. It's a good time to be a reader.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've talked about this a number of times. We talked about it on Robbie's channel when he does Rockin' Robbie Live. We've gone back and forth over it. And this may be a subject that we do later on, but, you know, indies compared to the mainstream titles of Marvel and DC, I think that the indies are putting out, the majority of the stuff they're putting out is quality work.
Oh, yeah.
As compared to when you look at the big two, you can't say that they're putting quality work out on every book, and I think people are starting to put their money down on that.
Yeah.
And indies are killing it right now. I have more indies on my pull list than I've ever had in my life. I'm the same way.
Yeah. All right, Bob, you got the next one. You got, I believe it's from Ross.
Yep, for sure. He says, difficult to look beyond Boom as the publisher of the year. The way they've continued to make up ground on their more established competition has been impressive. They just need some more titles now, but what they already have is high in quality.
I would agree on that, but I will say one thing. I give this actually quite a bit of thought. 2019 was a better year for Boom.
Yeah.
When you think of the titles that came out in 2019, Something is Killing the Children, Once and Future, Folklords, Red Mother, I'm probably forgetting some. I loved all those.
Yeah.
They had some good titles this year, but not as good, I don't think. You know, they had We Only Find Them When They're Dead.
Right.
I think that's kind of an iffy title, to be totally honest. Seven Secrets, I enjoyed it, but I kind of fell out of it, to be totally honest. Wind was another one. I didn't really enjoy that one at all, to be totally honest about that one. I think they had a good 2020, but I don't think it matched up to their 2019 year.
As far as new releases, I think in 2020, what's really kept Boom going is those titles you were talking about. Once and Future, Red Mother, Something is Killing the Children. Those are already established titles. But as far as the new stuff coming out, not as big a hits as we saw in 2019. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Still a great year. It's still some good ones that they added to that. But, you know, at the beginning of the year when I saw their lineup that they were going to be bringing out, I was pretty excited. And then after time went on and they came out, I was disappointed a little bit. And not to say they weren't great, they were good, but Something is Killing the Children. We will definitely talk about that one later. And the other ones that we mentioned, Folklords, which you and I really love that one.
Loved it.
The Red Mother, which is coming to an end, like the next issue. The Once and Future as well. So many great titles. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Power Ranger fan. I know they relaunched Power Rangers. I mean, they literally call it Power Ranger or Mighty Morphin.
Right.
So they took the two titles and separated them and
Yeah.
whatnot. So one's called Mighty Morphin, the other one's called Power. I think that's what it's called or something like that. I don't know. But that's not really my bag, you know. And I'm not really a Buffy guy or a what's the other one? Firefly. I mean, I like the TV show, but the book itself really doesn't do much for me.
Right.
I don't know. I thought they had a solid year. As far as independent goes, right behind Image.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think there would be another one. I think Image is way up there, and then Boom, and then there's nothing like a close third.
True. I will say that some of the books that we're talking about are some of the ones that are still my favorites of the month that I look forward to, though. Great stuff.
I agree. All right, you got the next one.
All right, next one comes from Two Tacos. Hope you got yours on Tuesday. He says, I would say that the man with no fear, Bob, Mr. Daredevil himself, the Zdarsky run. It's a really fun and gritty read. That's how it should be written. And he's right. I mean...
Really? I had no idea.
Truth be told, though, Chip Zdarsky is writing an amazing run on Daredevil. I've been loving every minute of it. And to see how it's evolved over the last 2 years, it's just been amazing. And of course, with the newest, developments inside of the book, I don't think you could have pulled it off with the normal Marvel tricks that they do. Yeah. This was really written well, and I can't wait for that book month over month. Not just because I'm a Daredevil fan. It's really, really, really well done.
So is that your favorite Marvel book?
Oh, hands down.
Easily?
Easily.
The one thing about that one, it's one of my favorites as well. It's on my pull list. I've got the whole run of what's going on. They had their annual coming out this year, and normally annuals suck.
Yeah.
It didn't.
No.
And that's the thing. I mean, I even have my pull list that says, please do not put the annuals in my book. That kind of sounds a little dirty, to be honest with you. You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Daredevil was like the only one that I wanted. And it was a good read, and it's actually relevant to the story of what's going on. And most of the times, those don't have a lot to do. They bring in a guest writer. It's just a one-shot thing. They jack up the price a couple dollars. And
it's a money grab.
Yeah, money, exactly. And, but in this one, it worked.
Yeah.
Daredevil, hands down, I think it's probably my favorite Marvel title. It's consistently a great story. It's consistently drawn extremely well also.
Absolutely.
The character is intriguing. As much as I like the Donny Cates books, the Thor and the Venom, sometimes I think those get a little long-winded. Sometimes, depending on what story plot he's working on and stuff like that. They're good, but I think there's a lot of filler in between, like what he's trying to eventually get to.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's just is what it is.
For sure.
To be totally honest. But yeah, I would say that's the reason why I wanted you to read that one.
Appreciate it.
There you go. You got the next one as well.
Yeah. Next one comes from the Purple Tarantula. He says, best book, Daredevil. Then Immortal Hulk, Ice Cream Man, Stillwater, Kanto, Plunge. He's reading all my favorite books here.
That's why you're reading this one too.
Plunge, Thor, Something is Killing the Children, Venom. Best covers, Shannon Mayer, Alex Ross, and Mike Mayhew. Most overrated Momoko. Oh, that's all he's saying.
Yeah, I saw it.
Best publisher, Marvel. There were some diamonds in the rough. Best comic appreciation channel, Comics with Bueller. There we go.
Cool.
Best comic picks, Jim's Comics. Best writer is Kate's, then Tiny, and he says. Biggest letdown, Bendis Superman Action Comics. Highlights of the year, COVID driving up values, and probably the first year with more speculators than reading. It's an interesting comment.
Yeah, so he hit a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of hit on some of the things. So the best books, we already talked about Daredevil. I've fallen off Immortal Hulk, to be totally honest.
You should get back on.
Really? It's pretty good? Okay. So if you guys have fallen off too, because I know a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the #1 selling book for Marvel.
For a long time.
It's dropped down quite a bit.
Yeah. Ever since that issue with the leader, pick up everything from that point on. It's really well done.
Okay. Ice Cream Man, that's on my pull list every time. Stillwater, that's on there.
Yeah.
Kanto, forget about it. You gonna interview the creators, or what's the deal?
I've got my request in with them. I haven't heard back from you.
There you go. Plunge. I don't think I ever read Plunge. Thor, Something is Killing the Children. We all know how I feel about that one. Venom. Best covers. We're on the same boat.
Shannon
Mayer, Alex Ross, just sitting right there. Let's see. Mike Mayhew has some great covers.
Yeah, he does.
And I tell people all the time, if you're looking for Mike Mayhew covers, just go to his website and buy them directly from him.
Yeah. And
he'll autograph them for you. So I think they might even be cheaper, to be honest.
For sure.
I love that one he did with Dr. Doom.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what issue that was, but it was Spider-Woman, I think.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
That was amazing.
Yep. Most overrated Momoko. To each their own. I'll just say that, trying to be, respectful, I guess.
Right.
Best publisher, Marvel. I don't agree with that one. I don't think Marvel. I think Marvel is like middle of the pack.
Well, when he follows up Best Publisher with "There were some diamonds in the rough,"
there you go.
I think that explains it right there.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, the independents are really grabbing me or whatnot. I think there was a lot of letdowns from Marvel this past year. Empire didn't do anything.
Yeah.
As far as anyone, I don't know of anyone who's like, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think the X of Swords or Ten of Swords, that was a hit and miss type thing.
I heard it started off great and then it just
dipped and maybe came back up a little bit, but there's so many books involved and the whole diagram thing gets confusing. I mean, just being honest. The standouts for Marvel are the ones we've talked about, though. The Venom, the Thors, the Daredevil, the Strange Academy is another one that kind of came out of there. Let's see. Best Comic Appreciation Channel Comics Bill. He's absolutely right. I mean, I don't want to argue with this gentleman. He knows what he's talking about.
There we go.
Best Comic Picks, Jim's Comics. You know what? I've said the same thing.
Yeah.
Jim's Comics by far is the best speculator I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Out of all the channels out there that do spec or call it keys or whatever you want to call it, they don't even hold a candle to Jim's Comics.
And what's amazing about that is he doesn't even sell any books.
Yeah, that's why I respect his opinion so much, because there's no ulterior motive to what he's talking about.
For sure.
And I watched a lot, and some of them are my friends and stuff. But I will just tell you, I'm sorry, you guys. Jim's Comics is the best one out there, and if you're not watching Jim's picks, whatever it is, he only does like one video a week.
Right.
You're missing out. So
for sure.
He does research and stuff. So.
He does.
Best writers, Cates and Tinian. I'm not going to argue that one bit. Biggest letdown, Bendis, Superman. He's done with that. Apparently, I think he's done with Superman right now.
I think they're going to put him on Justice League, is from what I heard.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Highlight of the year: COVID driving up values. We talked about that on the last copy video. How it's such a good time to sell comics.
Right.
People are just sitting home and they're not spending their money because there's nothing to do. So they're looking for ways to spend money, and they're buying stuff online, driving up prices. So, like we said in that video, it's a seller's market right now.
For sure.
And people are buying stuff like crazy. So
absolutely.
There you go. All right.
Great comment.
Yeah, I got the next one there. Probably piss some people off about speculating that, but you know what? I don't care.
No,
I really don't, because you know what? People make claims out there all the time,
right?
And most times they're just full of it.
Absolutely.
You know who I'm talking about.
What's substantial?
Well, if you don't know who I'm talking about, they probably can self-identify.
Right.
And if they can, that should tell you something right there.
There you go. I love it.
All right, I got the next one. It's from Mudfoot69.
Sweet.
Best year for DC, Metal and Batman books. Also, Doug Immortal Hulk and Ice Cream Man, among others. So, simple comment, but he hit on DC, and I wanted to give DC a little bit of attention.
Sure.
The Tinian Batman run is probably the best Batman run I've read in a long time.
Long time, yeah.
Not only is he doing a wonderful job, but he's introducing new characters left and right, and the characters actually have a little bit of weight to them.
Yeah.
To where it's not like they're just one and done. It sounds like he's remodeling the villain universe for Batman, and he's doing a good job of it.
For sure.
And I can appreciate that. So his run on Batman stands out quite a bit. Their other one, and I always talk about this, Deceased is my favorite book. That's the one I look forward to reading every time it comes out.
Absolutely.
When it comes out, that's the first one I read.
Yeah.
Whatever week it is, that's the first one I read. Mm-hmm. So between those two titles, which are really the only two on my pull list, are Deceased titles and Batman, and the Metal series that's going on right now.
Nice Death Metal, yeah.
I can't keep track of that. Every week there's like, what is this?
Yeah.
And they're spending.
They are spending.
They're like $6 now.
In defense of that, though, out of all of the events that have come out from the big two in the last few years, this event did it right. Every single book was a real tie-in, and it had weight to the story.
Sure.
And one of the things that I love about it, it really feels like they gave these guys the keys to the kingdom and said, do whatever you want, and they just had fun. Yeah. Hands down, best event I've read in a long time. Yeah.
I've read the first couple of them, and it's kind of the one I'm waiting to get everything to read it, because I was confused when I read the first one, because you have to have a little bit of a backstory. The deceased ones, they're fairly newer. You can pick them up. You can start, and then because I've been on it since the very first one,
Right.
and really enjoyed it. There were some titles for DC that kind of faltered for me after Williamson left the Flash.
Yeah.
I dropped that book. I just didn't connect with it anymore. As much as I was really looking forward to the Three Jokers storyline, it kind of fell flat at the end, which is a little disappointing. There were some other Black labels that came out that were just okay, but I think they had a decent year. I mean, with all the stuff going on at DC this year, for everything that he did for the distributor and all the firings, and they're still going today. Every day it seems like they're doing something different. And I've said that I personally think by middle of next year we only have 5 DC titles on the market, physical titles, 5 regular books, monthly books: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, and like Green Lantern, something like that. Just the main people, and that's all you get. And then you get like some event books, and that's it. I really think by the summertime, that's all DC will be publishing, the physical media. And I'm not alone who said this. I've heard this from multiple sources, industry insiders and stuff like that. So, it's cutting the line quite a bit, but at least it is something that's out there.
Sure.
So if that is the case, I'd rather at least have some books out there than none at all. So, but honestly, when I think of DC, they did okay, but the ones that they did really well, they did really well.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. I mean, the Deceased and Batman, they're like in the top 5 for the year for me.
For sure.
So,
I mean, DC, I think the last 2 years has done really well, bringing out a lot of the different titles that they did. Some of the titles I was really disappointed in that they were getting rid of, like getting rid of that new Suicide Squad. I have not liked Suicide Squad for a long time, but Tom Taylor, the same guy that wrote Deceased, bringing in a bunch of new characters, and really quickly, I didn't care about those characters, but really quickly he makes you care about those characters, and it's a really amazing run, and they just cut it. But all in all, I think DC has had a really decent year. And going forward, it's anybody's guess, really. Yeah,
they cut a lot of books this year.
They did.
They cut a huge percentage of their books, and they're not done.
No.
But Strange Adventure, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all those. I'm missing a couple issues. I think there's only 7 issues, but I'm missing like number 2 and number 4 or something.
I think Tom King is a great writer. Of course, we didn't like his Batman stuff. But when he does series like that, he's amazing.
This next one comes from Steve White. He says, the one book I really enjoyed, besides the standard favorites like Venom, Thor, or Daredevil, is a title that was not talked about at all. It's Oblivion Song. What an original story. The aliens look so unique. Robert Kirkman writes a good story. As we know from the hit The Walking Dead, great videos. I tune in every week. Thanks. Well, thank you, Steve. Appreciate you watching. I've been on Oblivion Song from the very beginning. Very first issue. Actually, that one and Gideon Falls came out like within a week of each other, and I was sitting there on the shelf like, which one do I get?
Right.
And that's at the time when I was making choices like that.
Sure.
No. But I went with Oblivion Song. I've liked it ever since. I like the sci-fi aspect of it. They kind of rebooted around issue 25 and wraps things up. And so if you wanted to jump on after that, you can. So 25, 26 type thing. I have since gone back and almost collected all of Gideon Falls, so I made up for my decision, my choice, so I'm pretty good there. And not to mention Gideon Falls, the final issue, we're kind of getting off subject here, but it comes out, we can go pick it up today. We didn't get any of our books.
Nope.
Actually, there's a bunch of shops that didn't get books on Wednesday, all across the United States because of shipping. Shipping's all screwed up, man. It's nuts. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oblivion Song.
Oblivion Song.
So, like I said, I've been on board from the very beginning. I love the series. The color palette that they use for the books is very unique and stands out awesomely. And the covers are like that too. And it's a good quality book as well. And you know what? That brings me to this. And I actually forgot about it, okay? So I want to jump on this book right here. So do me a favor, okay? So we talked about this. This is one of my first 5. Take this out of the bag and just look at it. I just want your initial reaction on this book. Because we've talked about stuff like this in the past.
Okay. quality right
Yes.
off the bat.
Yes.
I mean, you can just feel that it's a nice thick cover.
Yes.
Paper on the inside, and
Yes.
it's just got weight to it. You know,
Yes.
like in Jurassic Park. Is it
Yes.
heavy? Then it's expensive, right?
You've never hold that book, right?
No.
You've never even seen it.
Nope.
Okay. Look at the price in the front.
$3.99, baby.
$3.99.
Yep.
Okay. This book, and I mean, this book was on my top 10 when it came out. I never found it locally and stuff. You know, I looked for it. I actually put it on my Instagram. The writer of the book reached out and said, "Oh, thank you for promoting it," and stuff like that. And I'm like, I hope I find it. Okay. So on my trip to Florida, I found it at a shop, and actually the shop gave it to me. Let me see it here. I picked up this book. For one, it's like it's like 34 pages, something like that.
It's definitely larger than a normal comic book.
If I cannot stress to you the quality of this book. The story, let me talk about the story. The story is very adult, as you can tell by the name, Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights. It's a very adult story. It's not for everyone. I read it. I really enjoyed it, okay? But that's not why I'm pointing out this book. I can't remember the last time I've seen a book this quality as far as they made the book. I mean, they even have like little sketch art in the back of the panels that they've worked on. But the page quality, the cover, it's got glossiness on it. This is the best quality book of the year.
Yeah.
Easily. I cannot even think of another book that has the quality that this one does.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things that is usually standard throughout the industry is that the cover, right, is a little bit different or heavier paper than the rest of the book.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how disappointed I was in Marvel this year when they're using the same paper as the interior
for the cover. That's crazy.
It really was. You could feel it. You know, if I was to hold it for like another 2 minutes, the ink was going to come off of it. This, as I'm holding it,
isn't that awesome?
This is gold standard.
If all your books were like that,
yeah,
people would be buying more books.
Hands down.
If they could make the books like this,
yeah,
and there's not even one damn advertisement in that book. So this is all the money that made from this book is from the price that you pay for the cover.
Yeah.
The coloring, the artwork is amazing.
Yeah, the color is vivid.
Yes.
I mean, if you can all see that, it's just really vivid.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah. It's just, I'm telling you guys, I was blown away by this book. The quality of the book was top notch. The cover is a thicker paper stock, and then the pages are a thicker paper stock.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. So my hat's off to issue 1. I don't know if that's a standard for going forward, or they probably went a little extra mile for issue 1.
Right.
But even if it's half as good as this one for issue 2 or 3, it's still above and beyond what we're normally used to, especially from Marvel. So that's why I had that book on my top 5.
Yeah.
Or first 5 or whatnot, because I really wanted to show the
quality. Them a plot of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I literally got on Instagram as soon as I opened it. I was like, dude, this is the best quality book I've ever held.
Yeah.
And, you know, the guy's like, thanks. You know, it's a 3-issue series. I'm pretty sure issue 2 is sold out. I think it comes out next week. But tell your comic shops to order this book, because issue 1 you can still order. I asked my comic shop, they said, yeah, we can still get number 1 through time.
Nice.
And I believe there's even a shiny version of a foil cover or something like that. So I might get that. Anyway,
very
I wanted
cool.
to show that.
Yeah.
Give a little bit of attention to that guy.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, it needs to be said, because really when it comes to, you know, the stuff that we're getting, we're paying top dollar for crap.
Yep.
So
make quality books, man. It makes a difference.
Absolutely.
It's like a 10-minute segment on the coffee video. All right. Let's see. You got the next one.
This one comes from Patrick Melorano. He says, love the beard. I've grown mine out since September, longest I have ever had it currently. Horror Rule 2020 for me. Autumnal, Nail Biter, Something is Killing the Children, Stillwater, I Walk with Monsters, and Department of Truth are all fantastic reads. It's only 3 issues in, but Autumnal is my pick for number 1 this year.
Wow.
That's a great comment, and I really think that he's hit the nail on the head with this one. Horror, I think we're in a renaissance of good horror books. Yeah. Even James Tynion, outside of the mainstream stuff, he's put out his own horror anthology, bringing together some of the best artists in the industry and writers. This stuff is fantastic.
Yeah.
I have loved the horror stuff that we've been getting. So even that book, Homesick Pilots, that came out, I think that was from Image, wasn't it?
Yep.
Image Aftershock. Another great horror story. It reminded me of Stephen King's Christine, but with a house,
Yeah.
right? And the amount of horror books that we're getting, I think, has just been amazing. And so he's right. 2020 has been a great year for that.
I would agree. I think I could just Knock 'em Dead, which was my first. I'm going to put that out there, but that's a horror comic as well.
Yeah.
Elliot Rahal does great horror books. He's done the Creature Cold or something like that. He does The Vein and some other ones. I'm probably butchering some of the names. But the horror book that kicked it off for me, and we reviewed it, and I've never seen this book in the wild. I was looking for it in Florida. It was Doll Island.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Have you ever seen it? Actually,
Never.
Okay.
Right.
We reviewed this book, and I think it was our first review we ever did as far as a single book. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
It was so good. I'm pretty sure it came out 2020, maybe the tail end of 2019. I've never seen the book. I've never seen it in person. It was put out by Source Point Press. It was a one-shot, 80-page goodness.
It was amazing.
And you know what? I read that. I was like, man, these horror comics are pretty good. And then I got into other horror comics because of that book.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'd like to have a copy of that book.
For sure.
But I still haven't found it. But I could order it, go that route. But I don't do that type of thing.
No, you don't.
That's what you do. Order some, man.
Yeah, all right. Man.
But would you agree? I mean, you like that one as well, right?
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It was pleasantly surprising. I mean, even the lettering inside of that book lent to the feel and overall creepiness that you were supposed to get out of it.
The creepiness.
So good.
Yep. Yeah, the horror market is thriving right now for comic books, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That whole genre is just one after another after another. There's an audience there wanting it.
Absolutely.
And I got a chance to read a bunch of books when I was in Florida, and a lot more horror books, and they were all pretty good. So
nice.
Okay, you got the next one as well.
This one comes from Rafe. He says, the video costs me money every week.
That's what it's made. Perfect.
I think Image has surged forward this year a lot with some great comics. I seem to have their books on my pull list more than the others. Thor has been great, though. Devil's Highway by AWA was in my top 10 of the year. Join the Future by Aftershock was great. The Prisoner by Source Point Press was great. Now that I think about it, the indies in general surged forward too. Great year for comic book readers.
So I can tell when he's typing this comment, he's realizing what he's typing.
Right.
And he's realizing exactly what we said.
Yeah.
When you sit there and you take the minute to figure out, okay, what were the best books of this past year, and they're indie titles.
Indie
and it's
titles.
just one after another, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
It is.
Because, I mean, I know Rafe. I know what he collects. He's been a long-time viewer. He's comments all the time. To see him write something like that, that's pretty cool, man.
It is cool.
It is pretty cool because there's such a variety out there.
Yeah.
And 2020, even though we were missing a 3-month chunk of the year, was still amazing as far as titles. So, you know what? Independence, man. That's where it's at.
That's where it's at right now.
That's where it's at.
For sure.
I got the last one here. And the main reason why this is on here, and this is from Jean-Claude Van Tom, best series, Something is Killing the Children. That by far was the most commented book on the videos. As far as the 2 videos I looked, that name kept on coming up time after time again.
Yeah. Something is Killing the Children, the best series of 2020.
That's awesome. I was on this book from the very beginning. I caught the name. I've said this before. It was the name. I saw the name. I was like, man, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then, the first issue came out. And then, a week later, I got to meet James Tinian and talk to him about it and stuff, And I was hooked. I was like, I like this book. And I think I actually did a review on it on John's Comics with Kids and White Whale's channel or something like that when it came out. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this book and we're talking about the future. Where's it going to go and what's it going to do?
Right.
And it has not let down. It has been
amazing.
Top notch. From the very beginning, I care about the character, Erica Slaughter. I care about the town. I care about everything that's going on. When you think about this book that's been out over a year now, it's pretty condensed. I mean, they don't go very far away. I mean, they're within walking distance of where it just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still at the gym. So it's a very small, condensed story. They're not spread out all over the place, or whatnot, and they've done a great job at it. Tinian's done a great job at telling this horror comic book.
Yeah.
And, this could be a series. This could be a television series. Something we all enjoy. I mean, obviously, I think there's a lot of reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sure.
I think that's kind of what they're going for in this book.
Mm.
But it's awesome. And it's been on my top reading list every month when it comes out. So,
for sure.
I'm not alone.
No. I love the title. I think when it first came out, I remember you telling me about it, and I ended up getting it. But for whatever reason, I had an off week or something. I actually didn't read the first issue when it first came out. I ended up having to go back and reading the first issue the next month when issue 2 came out, and I flipped out over it.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's hints of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it's so much more visceral.
Yeah.
And it keeps you on the edge of your seat. And Tynion has just been weaving this masterful tale through it, and so I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. This is the feeling I get every time I read it. I want more.
Yeah.
I don't feel as though I got enough.
Yeah.
And that's the way you want your book. You don't want to read the book. Oh, okay, I'm. That's about right.
Yeah.
Every time I read it, it's like, man, I want more, and it can't come fast enough. I mean, it's the one book that's only monthly. I wish it was every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
If the quality stays up, obviously. But by far, that I feel was the #1 book. I would probably give it my leaning towards that one being the #1 book. By far, it was the most commented book. Was something that's killing the children. You can't argue with what everyone is saying.
Yeah,
honest, right?
absolutely.
Would you? What's your #1 book of 2020?
Canto.
You know what? Ridiculous. I did a little research on that Canto guy. Apparently, he's a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fails.
Yeah.
I like my characters to be winners.
Okay.
Maybe at #2, right?
And the only reason why I say that is because no other book really has affected me emotionally the way that book has.
Have you read Sledgehammer?
No.
You should read that.
Really?
Yeah, it's based off of that 80s TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'll love it.
Thank you.
I do want to kind of run down some of the books that I enjoyed from 2020 real fast. I'll kind of do it by publisher. From DC, it was Deceased and Batman. Marvel, it was pretty much Daredevil, Venom, and Thor. These are kind of my go-to titles, to be totally honest. Image, the list was just enormous, and it keeps growing every week, but I'll just kind of tell you. Department of Truth, Big Girls, Oblivion Song, Gideon Falls, Spawn, Ice Cream Man, The New Walking Dead Deluxe, Stillwater, Decorum, Firepower, Scumbag. I did pick up Firepower, by the way.
Nice.
Picked that up in Florida, so I got to read that. Liked it.
Sweet.
Crossover. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Boom, Something's Killing the Children, Red Mother, which comes to an end here pretty soon. Aftershock. Join the Future was probably my favorite series this year. It started and ended in 2020. Let's see, Kaiju Score. That's a new book. I actually really enjoyed that one. It's pretty good. And then Knockin' Dead, obviously, I like that one as well. Scout Comics, I read The Recount. I don't know if you got a chance to read that one. That was really good. I really enjoyed that one. It Eats What Feeds It. I read that one as well. Like that one. Let's see. There are some other ones. The Blackbox, I loved the Biggs and Tiny. I thought that was a fun series. And I'm looking forward to the Devil's Dominion here that's coming out this week. I've already read the first one, but it's a pretty good series.
Yeah.
Tons of great books. Tons of independent books. I mean, really, I had 5 titles on that list that were from the major publishers.
Right.
All the rest were independent books. And I'm not even scratching the surface with other from Vault or from, AWA, some of the books I like from them, so it just keeps on going.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is nuts.
Yeah. Do you have a top 5 at all you can think of off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, I again, Daredevil, Canto, Something is Killing the Children. I really, really enjoyed this year Alienated.
Oh, yeah.
Alienated was just an amazing run.
I think that started and stopped in 2020.
Yeah.
That sound about right? Yeah.
And Kill Lock was another one that I really enjoyed very much.
The robot.
Yeah. But all in all, I mean, like we were talking just earlier, a lot of the horror books that came out is what really blew me away this year.
Yep.
And it's just a good time to be in comics right now. It's a good time to be reading, good time to be collecting them. And I think that we may be in an area just, because of COVID, that we may have, more people coming into comics than we've had for a long time. And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
For sure.
All right, so that's our topic. Let's go ahead and shift gears, and we'll go to our final 5.
Yes.
And Bob, you want to go first?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also on that opening video, I got an AOK from Jason from Heroes to Icons.
Nice.
Never been to his channel. He puts out a lot of great comic book content. Go check him out. It's called From Heroes to Icons. He does a weekly comic book show where he shows your must-haves of the week. And then he has another show called On the Run, which shows specific runs in his comic collection. But he has another love, which is martial arts comics, and that's something that I'm really into as well.
Yeah.
And he sent me some stuff from China, the Storm Rider series, out of his personal collection. And these covers are just amazing, you guys.
That's pretty cool.
There's number 442. These books are put out by Wing-Shing Ma, who not only writes but also illustrates. And you can see the painted covers. These are just amazing. And
he's an artist as well.
Who? Yes, for Jason from Heroes. He did a piece for me for Daredevil, and then you also have a piece.
I have a couple of his.
Yeah, that Black Panther one he did for you is just amazing.
And the Flash.
Yeah, and then this last one, and I just thought that was just really amazingly nice of him. Number one, it's something that's this is probably the most unique thing in my PC now, and so I wanted to come and share them with you guys.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
I like it. All right,
what you got for your final 5?
Here we go. So I got majority of these on my trip. Batman Detective Comics number 475. This is the one with the 2 fishes.
No, that's
Joker,
right.
Joker
fishes.
I already showed these on the live stream I did, but I'm just going to show them again because I like to.
Sweet.
This one I got from Steve. This is actually one of my favorite horror movies, Nightbreed.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that cover. I used to have that book a long time ago. I don't know whatever happened to it. This one, Megaton, number 5.
That's Liefeld's first one,
It's
right?
the very first published artwork by Rob Liefeld.
That's awesome.
So that's not bad at all, right? And then this one is the book. I kind of do this every time I go to a con or anywhere. I bring a blank cover. This is Batman Black and White. I don't know. And everyone who comes up to me who watches the show or is a fan of the show, I have them sign it for me. And as you can see, there's tons of signatures on the front of this cover. So I've gotten a few of these now. And it's really special to me to have everyone who recognizes the show and talks about it and stuff like that, just to get them to autograph it so I can remember it. And I write at the bottom what con it's from. So very special to me. Like I said, I have like 3 or 4 of them now. They're my favorite books, to be totally honest. But let's end on something I thought I'd never be talking about. This is ridiculous. Look how happy he is. This is, I don't even show it now.
Come on.
You jerk.
Come on.
So I bought a slab, and this is a Deadpool number 13, 9.8. 9.8! So it was the last comic shop of the trip that we were on in Florida, the last day, and I kind of wanted to go big. And they had this there, and I remember seeing this cover on my preview video, but I never saw it in person. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy it. You know, it's $55 plus tax. You got to pay tax for it. That's all right. So honestly, it's the first slab I've ever bought for my personal collection I'm keeping. And it's, I believe, the most expensive book I've ever paid for, because with tax it was like $60.03. So I think the most I paid before was $60. So this is the most expensive, and it's a slab. So there you go, 2 of my records broken all in the same. What do you think? You like that?
I'm proud of you, man.
Look how happy you are. It's like Christmas all over again, and he's not even getting anything. So, well, there you go.
I think it's awesome. I love that cover, number 1.
Yeah.
I think that's an iconic cover.
Yes.
And that it moved you that much for you to buy it. I think that's absolutely great. And $60, man. That is awesome, dude.
The only thing I don't like about it is it's on a Deadpool book.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Because Deadpool's not on there.
No.
So I don't know. But it is what it is. So it's the Marvel 25th anniversary one or whatnot that was. I actually collected quite a few of those that were available. This one I never even saw. So now I got it. And that's my...
it's a damn fine one for your first lap.
There you go. Sure. Thank you so much. Very excited. All right, you know what? Let's shift gears and we'll go to Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. Just found this interesting little creature on a space station. They called it a tribble. Shouldn't be too much trouble. Anyway, you're checking out the all-new Coffee and Comic Show, and my pick of the week is...
The Picture of Everything Else, this one by Vault Comics. And I'll just have to admit that I haven't read this one. Our LCS, we didn't get books this week.
Yeah, neither of us got this book, so we don't know if it's any good. Robbie did pick it as his pick of the week. Apparently, there was a bunch of comic shops that got shorted.
Obviously, his didn't.
Yeah, his did. His got it, but there was multiple here in Oregon that didn't get books at all. And that's one of the books we missed out on. But I did hear that they got their books in today. Mm-hmm. So probably after we get done filming this, I might go down to the comic shop and pick it up. Because it sounded pretty interesting. It was actually on my top 10. I like the premise, but like I said, neither of us have read it. So we're just going to have to say, good pick, Robbie.
Yeah. I have heard it's amazing, though, not just from him.
Yeah. And I believe Robbie most of the time.
Absolutely.
Did you watch his grievance video?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
It's a Festivus video?
Yeah, he was upset about Taco Bell. You know what? That's valid.
It is valid. But I called that one. I knew he was going to use that as one of his rants.
There you go. Do me a favor if you haven't checked out Robbie's channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. Go ahead and do so. He's closing in on 10,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I hope he gets there by the end of the year. Why not, right? Yeah. He probably won't, but you know what? He could with your help.
Come on.
There. 10,000 people watched this last week. Those 10,000 people, I guarantee you, not all of them are subscribed to Pop Culture Philosophers. They could be, and then he'd get the 10,000.
There we go.
That'd be cool. All right, let's go on to, you know what, that's really it. So, like we said at the beginning of the video, this is the first time me and Bob have seen each other since I got back from the trip, and Christmas was yesterday, so we're just going to get caught up a little bit. Yeah. And you guys are just going to have to sit there and enjoy it. So, Bob, how you been, man? How was Christmas?
Christmas was great. I mean, I got to spend time with my family. I ended up getting some comic books I wasn't expecting. And on the downside, I'm still having major issues with my back. Yeah. And, I've been to the doctor quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. And we'll see how that plays out going forward. But it was a really great Christmas. Yeah. I got to say that, haven't seen you for a while. Yeah. And truth be told, I've missed you, man.
Oh, man.
It's good having you back.
Yeah. I had Christmas yesterday. I had a really nice time. Unfortunately, I didn't see my kids at all. My daughter's in Albuquerque, and my son, he's afraid of the COVID thing, so he stayed home. So it was just me and my mom, my sister, and her kids and stuff. So I missed out. I was a little sad, to be honest. That's actually why I made a video yesterday, because I didn't have anything to do. I'm just sitting there like, oh, God. But, it was nice to see my mom and them and stuff, so I had a good time there. I didn't get any comics. I normally don't get comics for Christmas. I showed you my gift. I don't think it's appropriate to show on the thing, but it's called a Hillbilly Christmas, where we just make stuff.
That's awesome. Some of the stuff he told me that they made just cracked me up. It was good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So my mom's very creative, and she took her talents up a notch this year. So there you go. Very cool. But you know what? Speaking of Christmas, man, I got some gifts for you that I got for you on the trip. And some are from me, and there's even one from Steve Whiting. So which one do you want first? You want the ones from me or Steve?
Oh, just go Steve first.
Okay. So I'm going to give it to you, and then you can show it. But that one's from Steve Whiting for you.
Whoa! Dude, Steve, thank you very much. It's Daredevil number 88.
There you go.
Got Kilgrave, the Purple Man in that book. I love that comic.
Awesome.
Dude, Steve, thank you very much, my friend.
Very cool. These ones are from me. I have this one myself, and I got another copy of it, and I like that variant.
Oh, I love that cover.
Yeah,
I do not have this.
I think you said something to me one time about it.
Yes. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is one of the best covers on that series I've ever seen.
Yep. And that's actually the cover I have. This one is for you. That was actually from the Comic-Con.
Oh, Wolverine Black.
They actually gave it a couple of those for us.
Nice.
And so that's actually from the guy who runs the Comic-Con.
Black, White, and Blood. I do not have any copies of that, so thank you very much.
And then this one's for me, and I know you're a fan of Dr. Doom, and there was another book, but you're not getting that one. You ruined it. But you're getting that one. And I don't know if you have it, but if you have it, I don't care. You're getting two.
What? I do not have this.
Cool.
And thank you so much. It's Hulk 143, and it says, "At last, Doom."
There you go.
Dave, thank you very much, man.
Very cool, man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Now, your present, I wish I had it here to be able to give you.
That's
I ordered it over a month ago, and it hasn't gotten here yet.
Shipping is the worst.
It is.
It really is.
But I know you're really going to enjoy it.
Awesome.
But thank you very much, my friend.
I'm glad you like it. I like the, me and Steve were going through it, and he's like, "Oh, what about this one?" I go, "Yeah, I think you like that one."
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know what you have in your Daredevil. You have quite a bit.
I do not have that one.
Perfect. So there you go. You got some books he doesn't have, and happy to give them to you, buddy.
Thank you.
But I want to take a minute and tell you, there's a lot of people in Florida that asked about you.
Really?
Yes. Our coffee show is very popular,
Mm.
and in the comic book community. And out of all the people I met, majority of them are like, "Oh, I really enjoy your co-host Bob." I'm like, "Really?
Really? Like that's a surprise?
Yeah. But I just wanted to let you know, man, that people were really big fans of the show. They're really big fans of you and stuff like that, and just the conversations that you and I have on a weekly basis and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool because really
I'm touched.
having Bob on the show makes it that much better, and it's really taken off since then. As I said last episode, had 10,000 viewers. That's a lot of people watching the two old guys talk about comics.
For sure. Well, I'm absolutely flattered. Number one, I'm honored just to be on the show.
Yeah.
That you asked me, and ever since I've just been tickled about it, and so I really appreciate being here. But to hear that people appreciate me being here that touches me, and thank you very much.
They really do. I thought that was pretty neat because I was like, it just shows that maybe next time around you need to take a little vacation with me.
That would be amazing.
We'll both go down to Florida because I think they pretty much they talked about coming back in August.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's the case, man, maybe we'll have to share a hotel room. I don't know.
Let's make it happen. There were a lot of people that you met out there that I was so jealous because, I mean, there's some YouTubers alone that I would have just loved to have met and hung out with and just, going to those comic shops and stuff. And so next time, let's make it happen.
Yeah. It was an amazing time, first off, I just want to say thank you to Tony from Comic Pro Line. He's kind of the one behind the scenes that made it happen. And as you guys probably watched that video of his collection, it's top notch.
Yeah.
And then all the other people that I got to meet and all the other YouTubers, like you said, Steve Whiting, Stay Puff, Jeff the Cantonese Kid, Hialeah, Chad. I'm probably forgetting some, but you know what? It was an amazing time to talk with those people. I really enjoyed meeting Hialeah. It gave us an excuse to drive all the way out to Miami. A 4-hour drive from where we were.
Rahul's a good dude.
He's a great dude. So that was fun. We saw Chad there as well. Really great meeting Stay Puff. He's you've watched his stuff, and he's just everyone is great, but Stay Puff he makes me feel calm. Mm-hmm. He's got a very calming presence about him.
That's awesome.
And from the first time I saw him do a video, I was like, I like this guy quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the other guys, but I like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. And then Steve Whiting for putting me up, for the second half of the trip and stuff. I was at Steve Whiting's house, and him and his family were absolutely amazing. And just taking the time, they made me feel at home. Some great food, great conversation, with these people, his daughters, and he's outnumbered, man. But he just had a grandson, so
congratulations.
There's like him and like 9 girls. Now there's him, 9 girls, and 1 baby boy.
Nice.
he's like telling me, I'm really hoping that he's in the comic books and stuff like that. I go, yeah, he looks like a comic book guy. But everyone there was just fantastic, and everyone I met, like I said, that watches our show. They all mentioned, "Oh, Bob, I really enjoy Bob," and stuff like that. So I thought that was fantastic that they did mention that, because you're as much of the show as I am, and it goes a long way. So I'm looking forward to, in the future, if other opportunities like this happen, we both need to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And,
I'm there.
There you go. So there you go. You guys heard it here first. So anyway, I think that's about it. To be totally honest, this is actually probably a longer video than I anticipated, but you know what? First one back, it was a good video. So, anything going on your end, Bob?
Nothing much right now. I was able to put out a couple of videos this last week. I have my new series that'll be coming out called Reviews, Previews, and Back Issue Breakdowns.
That's taking the place of the coffee one?
That's taking the place of the coffee video, and that'll be a catch-all for all of my reviews and previews and going back and looking at things. I'm excited about it.
There you go.
My wife has put together a bunch of different slides for it. And
is she going to make an appearance?
She may be.
Because I know you talked about that in the past.
We did talk about that in the past, but we've been really careful and strategic about how we roll that out because we want to make sure we keep everything safe for her.
You guys don't know, but he's married to Pamela Anderson. Did I just get in trouble? No, I'm just kidding.
Dude! My wife's amazing.
She's a great lady.
She really is. And she's put together a bunch of the slides for the show. And I'm really looking forward to rolling this out. So stay tuned for it. It'll be coming out
Very cool. And then we're going to be doing a new video.
Yes.
And the concept of it, it's a speculation video, but it's a different type of speculation.
Right.
And I'll just tell you guys right now, don't take it too seriously. We're going to have some fun with it the way we do it. And we're looking forward to it. We don't really have a time frame when we're going to do it, but we might do it like every once a month or something like that. I don't know. But it'll be an edited video and we'll put it together. But it's talking about spec books and exactly how much money they're worth or not worth.
There we go.
We'll see.
It'll be fun.
The way we do it.
The way we do
Not
it.
the way other people
You know how we do.
There you go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. It's great to be back. I appreciate you guys all joining us. And I just want to say thanks again to the audience and for making 2020, because this is the last coffee video of the year.
Yeah.
Even though there's so much crap that happened in 2020, coming to this table week after week made it a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And talking about comics and reading the comments that people shared and meeting the people who watched the video made it a little bit better. So thank you guys so much. Very much appreciated. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already. And you know what? We'll see you next time. Bye.